Chapter 3. Now, the fact of the matter was that Ayasolekha, who had told the wicked story about Guna-Vara, knew where the king kept the arrow. So she stole it and had taken it to her private room. Later had sent for her own sons and those of other wives, all of whom hated Sringa-Bhuja, to tell them of the plot to get their brother into disgrace. "You know," she said to them, "your father loves Sringa-Bhuja more than he does any of you, and that when he dies, he will leave the kingdom and all of his money to him. Now I will help you to prevent this by getting rid of Sringa-Bhuja. You must have a great shooting match in which your brother will be delighted to take part, for he is very proud of his skill with the bow and arrow. On the day of the match, I will send for him and give him the jeweled arrow belonging to your father to shoot with, telling him the king had said I might lend it to him. Your father will then think he stole it and order him to be killed." The brothers were all delighted at what they heard and thought it is a clever plan, and did just what Ayasolekha advised. When the day came, great crowds assembled to see the shooting at a large target set up near the palace. The king himself and all his court were watching the scene from the walls, and it was difficult for the guards to keep the course clear. The brothers, starting from the eldest, all pretended to try and hit the target, but none of them really wished to succeed, because they thought that when Sringa-Bhuja's turn will come, he will anyway win the match with the jeweled arrow. Then the king would order him to be brought before him, and he would be condemned to death or life imprisonment. Now, as very often happens, something no one in the least expected upset the carefully planned plot. Just as Sringa-Bhuja was about to shoot at the target, a big crane flew onto the ground and between the target and him, so that it was impossible for him to take a proper aim. The brothers, seeing the bird and anxious to shoot it, all began to clamor that they should be allowed to shoot again. Nobody made any objections, and Sringa-Bhuja stood aside with a jeweled arrow in the bow, waiting to see what they would do, but feeling sure that he will be the one to kill the bird. Brother after brother tried, but the great creature still remained untouched. Then a beggar stepped forward and cried aloud, "That is no bird, but an evil magician who has taken that form to deceive you all. If he is not killed before he takes his own form again, he will bring misery and ruin upon the town and the surrounding country." You know that beggars in India are often holy men whose advice even kings are glad to listen to. So that when everyone heard what this beggar said, there was a great excitement and fear. For many have heard the stories told of the misfortunes Rakshasa or evil magicians had brought on other cities. The brothers all wanted to try their luck once again. But the beggar warned them, saying, No, where is your youngest brother, Sringa-Bhuja? He alone will be able to save your homes, your wives, your children from destruction." Then Sringa-Bhuja came forward, and as the sun flashed upon the jewels in the stolen arrow, revealing to the watching king that it was his own beloved son who had taken it, the young prince let it fly straight for the bird. It wounded but did not kill the creature, which flew off with the arrow sticking into its breast, the blood dripping from it in its flight, which became gradually slower and slower. At the sight of the bird going off with the precious jeweled arrow, the king was filled with rage and sent order that Sringa-Bhuja should be fetched to his presence immediately. But before the messengers reached him, he had started in pursuit of the creature, guided by the blood drops on the ground.